we want to create an NFT without filling out all the details. Okay, so let's click on this upload function, and here you can see it's triggering up. Okay, hey all of you, hope you guys are great and welcome back to this full stack NFT marketplace project video. So in the last video we had built our loader. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, I'll link in the I button or in the description so you guys can follow that. In this video we're going to build a more sophisticated system which handle all the errors. So you have noticed sometime that when we are fetching the data from the API or from the smart contract, it's taking too much time, and because of that it's getting timeout and we are getting an error, and sometimes users are creating error while creating NFT. So we need to have a system in our application which can trigger that error messages and display to the user. So that's the system we're going to build in this video. So hope you will learn something new in this to how to handle global error. Okay, so here I have opened the project. Make sure you to do that, and the first thing we have to do is to come up here in the components and we have to create a folder. So we'll call it error. Okay, here we're going to build a error component, and in that we're going to create this error.jsx, and we have to create this css file for error as well. So let's create this. Nothing new, you guys are already getting familiar with this. And here we have the css file. Close this one and come back to the error, type rafce, and let's come here, and here we're going to import couple of things. So let's come here and we need to import use state, we need to use effect and use context. We'll come down, we're going to import the image. So this is optional, but I would like to have an image, funny images, so that's why I'm displaying that. And we have to do the internal import. So here we're going to import the style file, and that's coming from the same directory. And now let's import the images, all the images which we have inside this image folder. Now let's come here, we're going to import the data from the context. So smart contract import context, and we'll call it NFT, and that's coming from this context. So what is the name we have given? Let's come back to the context and simply come up here, and this is what we have called NFT marketplace context. Simply copy this one and come back and paste here. Okay, so this is our context. Now we have to use that context const error we need, and we need the set open error, and here we're going to pass this context. So don't need to worry, we haven't created this error or set open error. We're going to create that state. Okay, I'm just writing out down so I can know that what I have to create. So these are the data we're going to import from market context, NFT market context. Let's build this HTML. Okay, so we'll type this style.error, and that we're going to have another div. It will have a class called style dash error box, and that we're going to have another div. It will have a class called error dash box info. In that we're going to have the image first, and we'll take this alt, and it will have an error. Width is going to be 200 and height is also going to be 200. Nothing fancy. Let's come down, we have to assign a class, and we'll say style error box info image. Okay, and object cover. And now let's add the image, and I remember I don't have the image, so let's come up here. I have already built that image, and that's the error image. Now I'm going to simply drag and drop here. You know the drill. Let's come here, and we're going to simply import the image error. We have the, let's call it error zip, and that's simply copy and paste here. So this is how we are exporting that image, and now we can utilize it. So that's the error component is ready. Now we have to display the actual error message. Okay, so let's pass the error. Right now we don't have this data, we're going to create it. Let's comment this out and let's type this hardcode data error. Okay, so that's the entire JSX for this error component. Now let's come here and go to this index, component index, and we have to import that component. Okay, this is the structure what we are following, and simply copy and export here. So this is the error component. Simply close this one and close this one, and go back to the nav bar. Here we're going to attach this error component, okay, in the nav bar. So let's come here, let's come up here. Here we're going to import that error component. Okay, that's where we have it. Now let's close this one, and let's close this one, and let's go to this NFT marketplace context. Now we have to do all the setups, build the logic in the context, because this is the file we're going to catch all the errors, because here we are dealing with the entire functionality of this application. So let's come up here and we're going to take this use. The first one is going to be, let's say, use state, and it's going to be an error, and that's what we are receiving in our error context, error component. Initially it will be empty, and now we have to take one more. We'll call it open error. Initially it would be false. Okay, so these are the two states we are taking. That's what we have here. Simply copy that one and come here, and here in the check if wallet is connected. So here we are here we are simply logging out the error message in the console, but we're going to display. Simply remove this one, take this dynamic block, we'll say set to true, and we'll simply remove this one. We'll call it, simply cut this and paste here. Okay, so we're going to set that error message. So that's what we have here. Simply save it. So we're going to set the true, and we're going to set the error message as well. So that's the thing you have to do. And now let's come back here, and here we have to do the same thing. So simply come here, and this is going to be set error. Sorry, my bad, not error, set error. Here we're going to do that. Simply copy and simply paste here, and here you have to set error. So you know what you have to do. Wherever you are simply console log out there, that's all places you have to do the changes. So let me do it very quickly. So let me do this one as well. Simply remove this one, take this one, and we'll paste this one, and simply we're going to say this set error, and we're going to simply copy and paste here and remove this part. So that's the function for the connect wallet. We have to do the changes here as well, set error, and this one as well. Now let me do it very quickly. Okay, let me do it. And here we are getting a sort of error, so because of this extra comma I'm providing. So simply come and remove this commas and remove this one and close, and let's here remove it. So right now all the errors are gone. So make sure you do these changes. So things are looking good, and now let's keep continuing and changing that. Okay, so finally we are done with this. We are changed the entire, set the entire error message, and here we're going to send that as well. So okay, we'll send the set open error. Okay, so make sure you do all these changes whatever we have done, and now everything's looking fine. Let's come here and simply go back to this nav bar, where it is nav bar. Inside the nav bar we have this one, and here we're going to receive the data. Okay, so let's receive this open error, and that's what we're going to utilize it. Let's scroll all the way down, and here we're going to build a dynamic block. Okay, we'll say if open error is false. If open error is false, then we don't want to display, but if it's true, then we want to display this error component. Okay, so that's pretty good. If you come here, and here we are already receiving the error. So here you have two options. You can either receive directly, or you can send it as a prop. No problem in that. Okay, so that's the data we are passing here. Okay, and here we have this set open error, and that's what we're going to call it here. We'll call it on click, and we're going to call this set open error, and it's going to be a false. So that's looking pretty good. That's the only setup we have to do here. And to see things are looking placed, let's make it to true. So we'll do this true, and now we'll come back to the application, and here you can see we have this beautiful crying baby image and the error message. Reload the browser, and you can see we don't have an error. You can see this is the GIF emoji I have used. You can use whatever you want. It's totally optional, or you can simply display a simple error message, but I like to have images. So it's looking fine. Now let's start styling this one, and since it's working fine, close all this one and close this one, and let's get back to the close this one and get back to the CSS file, and let's target the error. And first thing we have to do is to set the background color. So on the parent div I want to add some sort of overlay. Okay, so we're going to use this variable, but I remember that I don't have that color. So let's come back here and let's create that. Okay, let's go back to the style file and the global CSS style, and here we're going to create that. So we'll simply replicate this one, and we're going to call it, let's say, overlay, and we're going to decrease the opacity, so we'll bring this down, okay, little. Save it, copy this one and come here and paste it. And here we're going to say width is going to be 100%, and this will height be 100%. Position is going to be fixed, and z index is going to be, and top is going to be 0, and cursor pointer. So whenever someone will click on this overlay, and will turn the stage of the open error to false, okay, and we'll close that pop-up. So we'll come down, we'll target the error box, and we'll have the top is 25%, and we'll have the, let's say, left is going to be 30%. We'll have the position is going to be absolute, background color is going to be var, and in this we're going to display what color. We're going to display this main bg color. Copy and simply paste here. Come back here, we're going to say padding is going to be 2 RAM and 5 RAM. We'll take this border radius 1 pixels, and we'll have this box shadow, and we're going to use this custom box shadow. Simply copy this one and simply paste here. So that's the box shadow we have. We'll say text align center, and we'll have width to 40%. Now if we save it, we'll come down, we'll target the, let's say, box info P, and we'll increase the font size to 1.3 RAM, and let's say color is going to be our icon color. Simply copy and paste here and save it. Here we come and we'll take the media query, and we'll say on max with 35 EM we want to simply change a couple of things. So top is going to be, let's say, 5%, left is going to be 5%, width is going to be 90%, and height is going to be, let's say, 90%. So this is the setup for the mobile device, looking fine. And let's say padding is going to be 2 RAM, not more than that. If we come here, save it, and if we come here, you can see it's looking pretty good. It's right in the middle and looking fine. You can do whatever you want with this, okay, so it's totally up to you. And you can see we have this overlay, but when we are clicking on this, the events is not taking place, okay, so we have some problem here. So the close, it's not closing on click. Okay, let's come back here, and let's close this one, and go to this where we are. So here we are on the error, so here we are setting it to false, and we have this click function, but it's not working. Okay, not a big deal. So first thing we have to do is we have to get back where we are displaying the components. So let's go back to the nav bar, and inside that nav bar we have here, so okay, sorry, my bad, we have to simply remove this one, and now it will work. Simply save it, close this one. Right now we don't have it, it's looking fine. And to see things are working or not, let's come here, and we want to create an NFT without filling out all the details. Okay, so let's click on this upload function, and here you can see it's triggering up. Okay, so we have this hardcode value. What we can do is, it's working fine, you can see it's working fine. Now let's come here, and instead of this hardcode value, we want to display the actual error message. So let's come here, and here we're going to simply remove this portion, and we're going to make it active, this one. Save it, and that's what we are getting here. If you click on this, here you can see data is missing. You can add some fancy text. I just added this simple data is missing. It's totally up to you. Okay, so that's looking fine. Everything is working fine. Okay, now whatever error will happen in this entire application, this pop-up will trigger, and it will display the error message. Now let's click on this NFT, and let's create a couple of NFTs. Okay, let's create this beautiful NFT, my NFT, and let's give the descriptions. I believe that you guys are enjoying this project. If you have still any questions, any query, do leave in the comment section. Okay, do leave it. And here we are, let's create that NFT. Click on confirm, and here we are redirect. Our loader is also working fine, which we have built in the last video. If you haven't watched, make sure you watch it. And it's loading, and just do the inspect element and see what you can see. Here we have, and finally the data arrive. And this is the entire NFT we have created so far, and we have created one more. If you click on this, this is the NFT which we have created from this account, and it's loading. And here you can see, here we have one more error. Okay, so you can see it's good that this error is happening, so I can show you all the things. So we have this problem in our, let's say, in our search page we have this problem. Okay, you can see we are getting the message error while fetching NFTs. So that's the problem we are having. So I'm back to the code and let's close this one. And now we have to go back to the search page and let's come up here, and here we are calling that function. Okay, so we're going to wrap this function fetch NFT into a try and catch, so we can catch the error. So that's the data we have here. We're going to call this error and we're going to say try and catch. We're going to cut this one and paste here, and here we're going to call it's set error, not only error, set error. Simply copy, and then we have to set the error message. So we'll say that please reload the browser. The reason why I'm adding this particular message, because this is the error is not happening in our code. This error is happening from when we are fetching the data from the contract from the IPFS. So it's taking too much time. On such scenario we're going to have this error. So we'll allow the user to reload the browser. We'll tell the user to reload the browser so everyone can start from fresh. Okay, so that's the message we have, and now things are looking good. Okay, so that's the change you have to do. Now let's simply come here, and it's loading, and here finally the data arrive. Things are looking fine. You can click and you can navigate wherever you want. You can click on this and you can see that how many you have created, how many you own, followers, and following followers. Let's come back to the code and homepage, and let's scroll down. You can see the top creators. We have this 3 creators with total ETH they have in there. Okay, and this is the data we are displaying. Now let's buy this NFT. I really like to buy and sell NFT. Okay, so let's come here and click on confirm, and here we have 2 NFT. Here we have bought this one. Okay, you can see this is the NFT we have bought. If we click on here, we can relist this NFT. Let's relist it. Let's type the price to, let's say 234. Okay, something big. Save it, and let's make the confirm. Here we have redirected to the listed NFT section, and you can see the price got updated. And if you come back to the home, here you can see in the follower section the popular NFT creators, and you can see this data is also get updated. Okay, now he has this much ether of NFTs. It's looking fine, and this data is also working fine. So you can see all the data is displaying beautiful. Let's come here, and that's okay. Let's come down and close this one. With this, finally we are done with this entire project. We have built our smart contract, we have built our front-end application, we have connected the smart contract with the front-end applications, and now from the next videos we're going to start building the API. Okay, we're going to use the MongoDB as a backend server. Okay, so we're going to use MongoDB, and we're going to build a more robust API for this application. And you have seen that there is a lot of data is missing for the NFT. So in the NFT details page we have a lot of data, and the smart contract we have written is very minimum. We're going to make it more advanced smart contract which can handle everything. Okay, so this application, this in that entire NFT marketplace will have 2 versions. One version which is totally controlled by the smart contract, in that we don't need to have any backend API server. That entire thing would be controlled by the smart contract in terms of liking, follower, displaying the dynamic data, selling and transaction. Every single data would be controlled by the smart contract, and there would be another version where we're going to make the backend server for this particular application. Okay, so we're going to remodify the smart contract whatever we have built, because this smart contract is pretty simple. We're going to make it more advanced, which can suit this application. So that's the only thing I want to cover. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and whatever we have worked so far you have coded along with me. If you have still any confusion, any doubt, do leave in the comment section. Join the Discord server. If you have any error, post your queries there. Post the error. The user, the member of the Discord server will help you. If I will get a chance, I will help you too. Okay, so be a part of this community, help each other. If you know anything, if you have any idea, do leave the ideas in there. So we're going to include those functionality, those project in this amazing marketplace. Okay, so that's the only thing I want to cover. Hope you guys have enjoyed this project. If you really enjoy this project, do hit like and subscribe. That will motivate me a lot, and I would come back motivate me a lot. And that's the only thing I want to tell you. And from the next video, or maybe from the next video, we'll start building the API backend part of this application. So let's move for that. Have a wonderful day.